This is Father Gerasimos here at a parking lot. Yes, a very exciting parking lot behind me. And the temperature is now probably like 98 degrees. So it's really hot right here where I'm standing in this parking lot. And my message to you is as follows. Well, definitely here in the Northeast we have a heat wave. And everybody is inside, as you can see, because everybody wants to run to the air condition and cool down as quickly as possible and not be under the hot sun like Father Gerasimos is at this time and being very uncomfortable, but happy to do the video for you. And my message today is as follows. There's a lot of talk about global warming and to what extent it is true, to what extent there's political agendas, to what extent on either side. The bottom line is that what you see behind me is something very unnatural. There's not even one tree behind me. There's a big parking lot behind me, and of course these parking lots are found all over the United States. And the trees that God created to filter the air and to provide us shade are not there anymore. And the trees also that provide different currents and so forth in the atmosphere, I'm not the scientist. And as you know, all these machines, all the machinery that we see here, that all the machinery that we see here behind us in all these buildings, all these air conditioners, all these cars are constantly producing more heat. So even though, again, to what extent the global warming is real or not, in my opinion, definitely there's global warming. And definitely we have changed the planet as we know it. And definitely we are just increasingly making an impact on this planet that God created so beautifully. So my message is as follows, that we need to be stewards of our planets. I'm looking at the parking lot behind me and just think about the garden, the paradise, the Garden of Eden, and the beauty there and the flowers and the trees. And even on this fallen earth that we live in, we still see beautiful examples of beautiful forests and luscious gardens and so forth. And then we see what man has made, a boring parking lot and a lot of cars and buildings. And what a sharp contrast as to some of my other videos where you see beautiful landscapes and the beauty that God created and waterfalls and all these other amazing natural things. So can we make a change? I think we all should be more conscientious of everything that we do. Yes, soon I'll be going back into my air-conditioned car or one of the stores here. And definitely there's air conditioning in the church, and definitely there's air conditioning in all the stores that I go to. And yes, we all like the air conditioning and so forth. But can we cut back a little bit? Can we be a little bit more conscientious? Do we need to crank up our air conditioners to the fullest? Do we always need to have it on? Can we sweat a little bit? We go to the gyms to sweat, and yet we cannot endure any uncomfortable. Can we turn off the lights a little bit more? Because doing damage to the environment causes damage to people's lives. And think about the old people who died because of extreme heat. And think about other places that do not have the luxuries that we have, air conditions and comforts and climate controls and so forth. So what we do here impacts people's lives elsewhere. And eventually it will catch up to us also. So, my good people, plant trees. Do not pave everything, okay? Work a little bit rather than working out in gyms. Plant some, leave some unpaved areas in your yards and just pull out the weeds. We need to make a change. We need to, all of us, we'll make things better. everything makes things better, just like everything makes things worse. So without my message necessarily being just of that being a green priest, or we need to just simply be more conscientious of the environment, and as we are called to be stewards of God's creation. What I see behind me is not necessarily a steward of God's creation, but rather a devastation of God's creation for our own ease, for our own comfort, and these things are not good. So signing off from a very, very hot day here in a very, very hot parking lot in the Northeast, Father Gerasimos.